And I have with me today brother Carlos Walden in the house. And when I say brother, I don't mean just because he's a brother. I mean because he's a brother of the Almighty Ed Second Upper Road Chapter. Blue Bay in the house. What up, Frank?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
What
How you
now?
doing today?
Everything good, man. Introduce the people. Introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are and what you do and what you got for them today.
My name is Carlos Walden. I'm from West Tennessee, Milan area. I graduated from Austin P State University. Is where how I met Dr. Woods. I graduated from Austin P with a degree and with a bachelor's in exercise science. I am a proud veteran of the United States military, uh, the Army to be specific. And now I'm currently in school for physical therapy assistant and going on to get my physical therapy, my doctorate in physical therapy.
Okay, preacher doctor, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that. Hey man, just relax and enjoy yourself. We're gonna have a wonderful show. Um, we're gonna dive on into this thing, man. Be prepared to give a little bit background about yourself. As we was talking the other day, what really got you into weightlifting and everything?
So my background in weightlifting started when I was young. My stepfather at the time, he had did like 10 years in prison and was like lifting weights and stuff like that in prison. And when he got out, he had one on this little fitness thing that he wanted to get back into shape and
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, um, be back, big and buff like he was in prison. So like he then bought a little weight bench for the house. What he really did was bought it for himself. But then again, I was sitting there, watching them lift weights and stuff like that, trying to, get himself together and get back into fitness, essentially. And so one day I just asked him, "Hey, can I start working out with you and stuff like that?" And he was just like, "Yeah." But then again, also just not only him, it was guys in my church, like a brother named Mark, Mr. Mark. He was a weightlifter. He was a bodybuilder, and he always had the big muscles. And I just admired it. It was just something about it that I admired, and I just wanted to be, you know, big and strong like he was, and just like my stepdad was. So from then, that was like in sixth grade. I started that in sixth grade, and also I played sports. So it was kind of like I'm gonna lift weights for sports and things like that, and get stronger and get faster and get bigger.
Yeah.
And it just stemmed from those men being in my life and showing me, you know, how to work out and that they was working out, and it just influenced me to start from there.
Okay. Well, let's just dive into this. I was telling you that one of the things I like to talk to my people that come on the call is work-life balance, and we
Hmm.
went through a big elaborate conversation with that. First of all, tell the people about how do you prepare yourself for a work-life balance.
So first of all, being younger, I didn't really understand how to prepare myself for work life balance. And I also have kids too. So I
Mhm.
had to put all those things into one pot and try to give time to all of those things. But a good thing that I did once I started growing up, and really once I started, get into the real world after college, was creating a calendar and
Okay.
creating a time limit, understanding that we do have a certain amount of time in a day. And what I like to do is everything that's important, I put on the top of my list.
Okay.
So anything that has to do with any of importance that I need to do expeditiously, I put that on the top of my list, and I use my calendar and my notepad and my notes in my phone to understand, like, if I get these things done, that's more most important right now, then I can go on to the less important or the things that need to be done later on in the month or the week or something like that. So what I do is just I get up and I keep myself on the schedule, just
Mhm.
because I do have school work. and kids to attend to. So I think putting yourself on the schedule and putting yourself in on a more constructive lifestyle helps with work life balance. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Let's back and go back to the weightlifting thing. Um, I know there's many different classes of bodybuilding. You
Hmm.
have those that, and you can talk about this a little more. What is more of a natural.
Hmm.
I'm not for sure the exact words with that. Maybe that's something you can explain. All the way up to those that take supplements and proteins or whatever it is. And where do you fit into this?
So I do. I am. So you're talking about different federations. So you do
Yes.
have the OCB is one of the natural federations, and you do have the natural NPC now that's becoming very popular. I happen to compete in a non-natural federation, which would be NPC IFBB Pro on into the IFBB Pro. So NPC is like the amateur part, and then once you move up, it's just like I like to correlate it like in life, like high school is like amateur.
Okay.
Um, that would be the NPC. And then there's levels in the NPC. So you have the local shows, which would be like high school level, and then you have the national shows, which will be more so like the college level. And
Okay.
then at the national show, you know, once you get into college, and if you're good enough to become a pro, then you go on to the NFL or the NBA or anything like that. So at the national shows, that's where you would be able to go to on to like the pro league if you win um at those national shows. So that's what you're talking about. But I do compete in the unnatural federation for bodybuilding, but they have all types of federations that I cannot really name, but the most popular one that's natural is OCB
All
for
right.
sure.
Let me ask you this. Um, the healthy eating, the competition time. What do you find to be the difference in the way of training, preparing yourself? And the reason I say this is I know people that done a lot of this before, way before you done it. Like our friend brother, Big Rough. He done it as a natural bodybuilder and stuff like that. Um, but from the and I know a lot of people that have moved out of it talk about they gave it up because the strenuous on the wear and tear on the body from the changing of the eating habits from the time for competition to
Yes, yes,
regular
yes, yes.
preparing yourself, bulking up, and then dropping the weight to look more defined and all that type stuff. Like, what do your regimen look like prior competition and then during competition?
So matter of fact, I'm in the health phase right now. So health phase is when you just get out of competing, because I just did a show in December.
Okay.
So it's a health phase and a maintenance phase that you go through. We call it the rebound phase, to where you getting back to eating regularly on your regular diet plan and stuff like that. And essentially, you putting more food back into your system to rejuvenate your muscles, because during the cutting stage, you are literally almost starving yourself to uh bring down your body fat percentage as low as possible. That could be either to 2 or 3% body fat percentage, which um is unhealthy. That's why you don't stay in that stage for too long. And when
Right.
you reverse back out, it's you want to reverse back out properly so you don't put the wrong fat on you, and also so you won't hurt your organs and your stomach and your body. It's really scientifically particular. A lot of people think that most bodybuilders is just going in the gym and just meatheads, and they just lift a whole lot of weights, and there's no science base to it, but it's a whole lot of science base to it, and it's very tedious as well. So first of all, you have your off season, what I would like to call your off season, which is now what I'm in, which is a growing phase, which you'll be eating a lot more food. So say for me, I have to eat 3,500 calories a day to grow. That'd be something that I will have to get in every day to grow properly. You know, this is the off season. You're trying to grow certain parts of your body, specifically trying to bring up so that you will be more proportion to the judges on stage.
Okay.
So during the bulking stage or the growing stage, this is more so kind of a relaxed phase. It's not really too much. Not saying relax as in like the working out part, but relaxed as in it's more relaxed on the food part. So you can still have things off plan, but you don't want to go too far off plan.
Okay.
Uh because you do have to get in your correct proteins, carbs, and fats as well. But it's a little less strict on eating because you are just growing and you just using the food to build the certain muscles that you want to build up. The workouts really don't change, you know, because it's always moderate to heavy weight, far as whatever moderate to heavy is for you.
Right.
So that's the two phases: is you either in season or you out of season. So the off season, the bulking season, the growing season, you eating more food and you getting in more calories, and then you move on. You pick a show, or if your coach say you're ready, he then picks the show and say, "Hey, this is the show we shooting for," and we shoot for about 18 to 16 weeks out from the show to cut down. Because
Okay.
if you do it properly, you shouldn't be having a high percentage of body fat, anyways. You know what I'm saying? So those 18 to 16 weeks is strict. Like you don't eat off plan, you don't, and your calories are getting cut every couple weeks to bring your body fat percentage down, to bring your weight down, because in the different divisions they do have well, yeah, in the different divisions they do have a weight cap for your height. So say I'm 5'11" and I have to be under 202. I have to meet that weight requirement and still look good, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right. Right.
um so uh the process starts when you're about to be in season, is 18 to 16 weeks out from that first show that you decide to do. And some people have a season of shows where they'll do that first show and then 2 weeks later they'll do another show. And then a month later they'll do another show, which would be essentially what I would be doing and what I do now. Once I'm in season, I don't do just one show.
Okay.
Depending on what I'm going for. So like right now I'm more so going for my pro card. So I'll do a regular local show and then I'll go to a national show to do, you know, to try to get my pro card to be a IFBB pro bodybuilder. But the difference is just the portion size. Uh is when you're eating, and it's a lot more stricter in the in season. You 7 days a week eating the same thing pretty much.
Yeah.
Your cardio goes up. Your weightlifting really stays the same because you want to keep your muscles dense. So you're still lifting as heavy as possible. Of course, you're gonna lose some strength because you're losing some
You lose some weight.
um, weight, but as heavy as possible you can
Yeah.
go. You still lifting at that capacity. You know.
Okay. Well, let's go back and I just want to keep flipping.
Hmm.
One thing we talked about, I think you was talking about one time a business that you want to create dealing with
Hmm.
veterans or something like that. Or
Yeah, you're talking about the fitness business that I wanted to create. It was for veterans that's in the gym. It's just like urban wear t-shirts and stuff like that. So
okay.
hmm
So what got you interested into the physical therapy perspective of
oh, okay. So like physical therapy, all of this stuff, everything that I'm interested in now is comes because when I was younger.
it?
I
Okay.
was in fifth grade. I broke my leg in fifth grade. So
Yeah.
a guy that I knew, he was actually or orthopedic doctor. Um, and he actually fixed on my leg. And then I went to the physical therapist for the first time, and I was just amazed on how the muscles and the tendons and the bone fused back together. And I was just interested in like how that worked. That
Yeah.
was my first time ever, experience a broken bone or anything like that, and how it healed back, and how the physical therapist did so well with sending me through therapy to get me back to, performance stage. So this all stems from everything that I ever wanted to do, stems from when I was younger, and the influences and the people that I had around me to influence me on what I like to do in my life now. So that was a big thing. Since then, I always wanted to be into fitness and health and rehabilitation. And now I'm in both. It's a funny thing. Like, I do personal training and I'm going to school for rehabilitation. So I didn't know that you could do both of those things, but
Right.
they go hand in hand. And my business, I actually do have another business venture that I want to merge those things together one day, and have a rehabilitation side and then a personal training and performance side, to where it's in all the same building, to where once you get done with rehabilitation, you'll just be able to go to the next side in the same building and go and to a personal trainer, a dietitian, to help you be back into your performance stage or functional phase of
Okay.
life. So
Well, let me ask you this: what in doing and getting yourself ready as being a veteran, been in the military, being a student in the working force, trying to prepare yourself, catapult yourself to that next level. How do you define success?
my definition of success is mastering the small things, and then working on the big things, working towards the bigger picture. I like to look at it like this. A lot of people look at a portrait and just see the portrait when it's done. But what did it take to get to that portrait that you see? Like, Picasso has all this great art and we look at it from the bigger picture, right? But what did it start with? It started with a small stroke at first. So those small strokes is your obstacles in life to get to the bigger picture and to see the beauty in the bigger picture. So that's what I like to think about when it comes to success. Like, you have to have these small experiences and the obstacles and these small so-called strokes in life to get to the bigger picture of success in life. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I define my success. Just understanding to embrace the suck sometimes, embrace the journey, so.
That's great because my personal slogan is small victories leads to greater success. And
Hmm.
I tell people all the time, you can't master nothing overnight. I have very
Yes, sir.
seldom seen it. And I even use the example, I've never seen a person start weightlifting one day and become a bodybuilder the next day. I've
No,
never seen it.
never
You know
seen
what
it.
I'm
Never
saying?
seen it.
In order to, as you stated, in order to reach that bigger picture, you got to put in the smaller work in order
Hmm.
to get to that bigger picture, that mountain, that whatever you're trying to develop. You got to take the small steps in order to get there. And
Exactly. And I like to piggyback on that. Like, just with my fitness journey, it's been 20 years now that I've been into fitness and been consistent with the gym. And I didn't start off like I am now.
right,
But the thing was, I think a lot of people generally want to see the bigger picture and focus on the bigger picture instead of the journey to get to the bigger picture. I feel like if you work on those small things and work on those and master those small things, just as simple as being disciplined, just going every day. Just, hey, I don't care what my body looks like right now, and I'm not putting a time limit on my body.
right,
I just need to be the discipline to go every day and do something. Eating right every day. You know what I'm saying? Instead of worrying about what my body might look like 6 months or 3 months from now, just let me eat right. And when you put all of those small things together and master those big things, once you turn back around, your body will show, or your physique will show that you have been disciplined enough to do these things. So I just like to start off by saying, hey, just start small. Just, hey, my goal is to go every day. Instead of my goal is to lose 10 pounds in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, just say, hey, let me start small and say, hey, just let me go every day. Just give me the strength to go every day. And that's just a small start. But once you get those small starts, then it'll gradually, it's a snowball effect. Those
That
bigger, those
discipline
big,
piece that you just spoke about, that discipline piece is very important because if you discipline, getting up, going, and this can apply to work life, personal life,
mhm.
the discipline is going to make changes for everything else to come.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
exactly.
Just being disciplined enough because if you more focus on getting up, getting out, and getting in the gym, I know me. When you see these, I tell you when y'all see this sexy body, I put in a lot of work.
Yeah. What you telling? Yeah. When you see it, it's a lot of work being done. You know what I'm saying? So,
It's hard to be this sexy, man. But on a serious note, man, you got to be disciplined enough to get out there and get it, man. I mean, there be days I get to the gym, man, and I be in the parking lot, and I be wanting to just turn around and go on home, man. But
and this is the
y'all be
thing
doing workouts.
this is the thing I've been telling like a lot of people that follow me on social media, and they like, what keeps you motivated? And I've been transparent with a lot of people and tell them like, hey, I'm not always motivated to go to the gym,
Yeah,
but my discipline gets me there. Like it's plenty of times where I don't want to be there. And I'm
yeah,
like, hey, and for me, it's like, hey, I done got there. I look good now, so why I even gotta go today? But I gotta keep going to keep that discipline. You know what I'm saying? So I won't lose it,
that
you know.
that right there. Got to keep going, keep that discipline is more valuable. And somebody out there can use that. And that's not dealing with just working out. That's not dealing with work. That's not just dealing with family. That can go even with your Christianity, even with your belief or trying to get your mental right. However you want to apply that, that applies.
And also let me put
Go
this in
ahead.
perspective. The gym has helped me with my life outside of the gym as well. Like being patient.
Yeah,
It'll help you be patient with things that's outside of the gym because you know you have to be patient in the gym. It doesn't help me with a whole lot of life things, learning how to control my anger issues, learning how to control different aspects that when things don't go right, okay, that's fine. It didn't go right today. Let's try it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because you have failures in the gym too. Sometimes you're not lifting as heavy as you did the day before.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes the workout doesn't feel as great as it did the day before. But
Absolutely.
it's just like life. It's just like life. If you think about it, it's just like
That's
life.
muscle
Like
fatigue.
exactly. It's just like life though. If you expect every day to be rainbows and unicorns, then you're gonna set yourself up for failure and disappointment.
That's not realistic.
It's not realistic at all. So if you set yourself up and say, hey, you get up and say, I'm gonna have a good day, but it doesn't pan out to be that good of a day.
Right.
If the Lord and God let you see that next day to do better, then you should be grateful for that.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. What do you do, or what is your daily routine that gets you up moving and keeps you focused?
So the I do my daily bread in the morning and I meditate first thing in the morning. That's the first thing I do when I wake up. Instead of looking at social media or anything like that, I have a meditation moment and I read my daily bread. And I also have a book that I'm reading at the moment as well. And
Break
I
that
read.
down for some people that don't understand what the daily bread is. They might think you eat a slice of bread.
Oh, so it's scripture. It's scripture and a prayer. I forgot. Yeah. So it's scripture and a prayer. So it's a scripture from the Bible. It could be coming from anywhere, and it's a prayer that's attached to it. And I also do my own prayer as well. After I read the prayer that's out of the daily bread and things like that. But it's on my phone, so I read through my scripture for the day, meditate on that, get a better understanding of what that means, because it breaks it down too of what it's trying to tell me and things like that, in more layman terms. And then it has a prayer at the end of it. So daily bread is just feeding your spirit and your soul for the day. So, and then I meditate. After that, I either cut on some music, some ocean music, and just meditate and try to clear my mind to everything, um, for a minute or two. And so
Yeah,
that's how I start my day every day. I wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, meditate, daily bread, and then I get up. And of course, with me being a bodybuilder, um, I drink a bottle of water because that helps activate your body and wake your body up and stuff like that. And then I go through my routine of fixing my breakfast and stuff like that.
man.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, yeah.
I tell people all the time, I love water.
Yeah.
I love
And I
water.
try to teach people like, hey, when you wake up, drink you a bottle of water. Like keep a bottle of water beside the bed. It'll activate your mind because you're made up of majority of water. So,
Yeah,
why not drink water when you get up? It's gonna
it's,
activate.
I mean, it's a natural flush.
Yeah. So it's
I mean,
gonna activate everything. So
what you
that's
put
how I
some
start.
lemon juice in there, a little lime juice. That's a diuretic. It's natural.
Yeah.
You have to get
Yeah.
them toxins out your body. Hey man,
Yeah. And it
man,
also and it also
this
it
didn't happen
also
overnight.
Yeah, and it also promotes metabolism, helping your metabolism as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because some people be like, well, when I get up in the morning, I don't usually be hungry. You know what I'm saying? But if you put water in your system, at least a bottle of water or half a bottle of water in your system, those enzymes and stuff your metabolism start ramping up and your body is starting to wake up for you to be hungry and be active and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's my daily routine. I do that every day, every
yeah,
day.
I'm with you. Let me ask you this, and I got a couple more for you. Feel free to ask me anything that you want to ask me before we wrap up. I mean, it's nothing's off limit. Do you have a personal philosophy that shapes your outlook on your life?
Yes, I have it tattooed on me actually. Carpe diem. That means seize the day.
It's today.
Seize the day. I tatted it on me, and I tatted this on me when I was in college. I did it because I was watching actually um a podcast during that time, and they kept on saying carpe diem. And I was like, what that mean? And it was like seize the day. And to me, that just identifies with me more because I always want to make the most out of each day as much as possible.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. And my last one I'm going to ask you, which triggered me to reach out to you. You identified the importance on one of your posts, the 12-inch rule, and how that has helped you in your life and to move on. You want to explain that a little bit?
Okay, so yeah, the 12-inch rule is, as you know, Mob, we learned that during membership intake. And I thought it was a great thing to put out to people because it really will structure your life as well as, it has time. And I can't ring them all off right now. I know that's bad,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
read them though. But it has like time management, stuff like dignity or simplicity, and those things can really be relevant in your life as you walk through your life and structure your life and managing your life, and just having those phrases
Yes.
to guide you through everyday life because
You know, one of my favorite was and still is worthy of example,
Mhm,
day in and day out. You worthy of an example.
mhm.
Are you an example that's worthy for somebody else to want to exemplify, look up to, and to be like you move in a way that is mannerable, moving in a way that make people want to get to know you on a different level, and especially when I can say this because membership intake is that mess, that stuff that they do now. Uh,
That's why I said it.
but and you know, back when you going through the pledging process and everything, uh, everything that the pledgees or the bros was doing, even after you come off line, we continues to tell them, man, you represent each and every one of us on a daily basis.
Yes.
And on the flip side, as we get older and we get grown and we in the workforce, and you in the workforce, you got to understand that as you going through a door that may have never been open to anyone that looks like us before, you got to go in and kick that door down to make people want more of you.
Yes.
To
Yes.
come through
Yes.
that job, to get that job. To I want me a Carlos. Man, Carlos done this. Carlos done this. Carlos, man, he was worthy, and that's part of one of my the things with the raw approach, man, is respect, appreciate, and worthy. And worthy mean that as employees, man, you want to feel worthy of the organization. You want to feel that you are getting your worth. You want people to feel that you're worthy. But on the flip side, you want people to look at you and be like, man, he's worthy. You know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
means a lot. And it goes in every avenue of life. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's why I wanted to
So
bring that.
that's a good thing you said there, because everywhere I've been, or everywhere I've worked, anything like that, it's been like uh his work ethic speaks more for him than anything. Like, you really gotta leave. Like, some jobs they be like, do you really gotta leave? Like, I ain't gonna find another you. Just like when I was in the military, so some of my soldiers still call me to this
Yeah.
day because of how I conducted my work,
Yeah,
and
they're not
how
trying
I
to throw
did
you off.
things.
You might like this glass. You see what's on the bottom of that mug, don't you? That's that shield.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You got that on the page?
Yeah, yeah, it's on the
Okay.
page. Yeah, yeah. And I drink my water when I'm on. Somebody told me, man, you don't put this big old jug down. Look at country drinking the jug on the.
But going back to the 12-inch rule and how it defines my life, my biggest thing is virtue of patience. And I think
Yeah.
that nowadays, a lot of people don't have patience like we did back in the day. I think this is a fast food lifestyle. People just want it right now, and they forget that
Boy, don't get me
the
started.
quicker the quicker you get to it, the faster you lose it.
I heard it like this. It's like cramming for a test and studying for a test.
Yeah,
I don't remember nothing I ever crammed,
exactly.
but I can remember a lot of stuff that I studied. My pastor was talking about that when he came on one day. Cramming versus study. You got anything you want to ask me, man, before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, like, what made you get into this space of interviewing and being a coach and things like that?
No problem. Well, very simple, man. When I first started really in the leadership position, before I started working on my doctorate degree, um, I like watching and teaching people and watching them get another perspective of something that they already knew, and it probably wasn't as beneficial or efficient enough to get the outcome. So in that, I always want to show people different ways of doing things, and that comes from I guess my science background, man, dealing with math. There, even today, students are learning math from different perspectives today than we did, than our parents
Mhm.
done. You know what I'm saying? And then when I took organic chemistry, there's many different ways to solve a problem. But the thing is, you got to get to that answer according to you take this molecule away and you add this molecule, it's not going to give you no new creation. If you take H2O, it's going to give you water every time. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But if you, let's say, when in the general chemistry class, everything had a specific boiling point. And the boiling point wasn't necessarily to say that it makes stuff blow. It gives you a different element, gives you a different metal. It gives you, let's say, if you took some water out of the sea. So you know at 100 degrees you can start boiling water and you condense it. And now you got distilled water. And then just keep going and you can start separating
The
things on a
salt.
more pure level. You know what I'm saying? So I began to start looking at that from a leadership perspective, and that is, hey, I understand that we got to treat everybody the same, but at the same time, in order to get a greater output, a greater outcome, you got to get to know your employees and understand their strength. And when you get their strength and you can teach them better ways to get a better product, a better outcome, that makes your workers feel good. So from that, when I started my journey on my dissertation for my doctorate, we started learning probably like the first 5 classes. All we was doing was just learning leadership, just different leadership theories, approaches, concepts. And from that, like I hear all this, I like all of this, I can apply all of this. I think it's still missing something. You know what I'm saying? So as I continue to read, learn, research, I started developing, and I said to myself, I'm gonna create my own theory, my own approach. And that's where the raw approach comes from. And that's the book that I'm writing on to start that off, because I have realized with my research that there are certain type of leadership that helps people depending on their type of help that they want, the type of person they are, the type of outcome they want, and the job and the industry that they in. Everything don't work for everybody. Cookie cutter leadership is gone. You got people that's more emotional today, and that's what people try to use the emotional intelligent theories years ago. That stuff don't work. That don't work.
Yeah.
We ain't dealing with your. We're not gonna get caught up into your emotions. You can be emotional, but I'm not gonna lead this organization because you emotional. We
Yeah.
can't lead that away. No, we're gonna teach you. Hey, you need to go get you some therapy
Exactly.
so you can come to work and be more productive. Because one thing that I realized is that everybody have a story. Everybody have a story. Everybody may have something going on with them. Everybody might be today might be the day that last straw hit and they just lose their damn mind. As leaders, you got to be able to pick up on what's going on with your people. You ain't got to know their personal business, but you got to know your people enough to know something's off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You leading these people every day. That's like having a child you see every day and you don't know your child. You know what I'm saying? So that whole
And
concept.
that's why I like, so me listening to that, that explains your raw approach, because being raw is being authentic, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
authenticity is taking one person, right? And you know, hey, I can talk to this person one way, but this other person, I have to do it another way.
Yes.
So that's the raw approach, the authenticity of that person, to understand that person for who that person is, because you don't never know. So you have 2 employees, right? You don't never know what this employee has been through, and you don't ever know what this employee has been through. But the raw approach is getting to know those 2 different employees and leading them in 2 different ways to get the same
Outcome.
outcome.
You get the same outcome. Exactly.
So
And
that's why I like this. So as you explaining, I'm sitting here, my mind just going, and it's turning around to why
yeah,
you have the raw approach, and that's great. I love that. I
when
love that
you,
because it
you
explains.
should hear some of my clients that I do the individual sessions with on how they be like, I never looked at like through how you teaching and bringing about the different concepts and I try to teach people. I ain't going too deep into it. One, the raw approach is that a lot of people don't want to hear. Why is it that when I'm being honest to you, I'm telling you what I see and what's going on with you? Why is it when it's too harsh for someone to hear, now I'm being mean? No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not being mean, I'm being direct. And a lot of people don't like direct. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the approach. Now let's get the job done. Let me get to know you. But at the end of the day, we got a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Get out your emotions and communicate through your words on how you can become a better, whatever
Exactly.
your position is. That has nothing to do with anything. But I mean, it's just like when you're doing progressive discipline on an employee. Are you being mean at that moment in time? No. When you're doing progressive discipline, you got to be directed to the point and say, this is what we're doing, and we're going to do an improvement plan. And then if they don't follow an improvement plan, now you got to follow the progressive discipline. That's
And
it.
it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because I always tell people um, when I debate with them,
Mm-hmm.
and some people like to say argue, whatever you feel like it is. But I said, are we debating with emotion or are we debating? Because I don't debate with the emotion. I take all the emotion out and I bring logic and truth. So a lot of people like to debate with emotion and get their emotions involved in it. And like you said, you have to separate those emotions from the truth. So when I tell people, hey, I'm finna debate, but I'm gonna debate you with truth. And I always tell them it might not be something that I necessarily agree with, but it's the truth, you know.
You can't. I tell people all the time, and this is the difference from a doctoral degree from most other degrees. Most time when you do research, you can throw in your opinions. You,
Hmm.
you you can put something, but when you're working on your doctor, your opinion don't mean shit. You're not the professional.
Yeah.
You got to cite where you got that information from. You
Hmm.
got it from somebody else that's already done the research. It's factual. You can't argue with it, and it teaches you to give your perspective, not even your opinion, your perspective according to the research that you've done.
Yeah.
You
That's the
can't
difference.
argue with the truth. The truth is a fact.
Hmm.
And the fact is, this is the truth. You can't argue with it. Now, if you want to tell me where you got your research from, then we can sit here and discuss this all day long. But if I'm discussing, like you just said, the truth, it's not an argument.
It's not argument.
It's
it's
a
nothing
perspective.
debatable. It's nothing debatable about it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a perspective. It's a perspective. All
And
right.
then
Go ahead.
most people, like I said, most people they they tend to try to argue the truth with feelings. Well, I feel like that's not right. Well, I might feel like it's not right either, but that don't mean it's not the truth. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right. That's a conversation we're not having. At that moment in time, I give people the opportunity to discuss your feelings. Once
Yes.
we get past your feelings, we're discussing factual information
Yes. Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got to allow your employees, and this is my perspective. You got to allow your employees the opportunity to vent, to be able to tell what's going on with them, how they feel about the job, what changes they're gonna want to make, and all the opinions and the feelings. That's okay. Let them have that moment.
Yeah.
But that's where you come in and you be like, okay, well, I hear you, I acknowledge it, but how do we move with what you said according to these steps right here that we got to get done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not discounting nothing that you're saying. Everything you're saying is valuable. It's valuable. But to what extent is it valuable in getting this outcome? And
Exactly.
if you don't believe it's not valuable, and this is the thing that I tell people, and I like to share people, look at a job from a relationship perspective. They look at me like I don't understand that. And because I feel everybody have had a relationship. of some sort, some type, somehow.
Mm-hmm.
When you was in that relationship, take the issues that you got going on with your job and put those on a person in a relationship. Would you keep that person around you? Most people like, hell no.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that tells you how you need to prepare to move. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same. It's the same concept. It's no different. If you're not gonna take that type of bullshit at home, why are you dealing with it at work? If somebody mistreating you, everybody got the job, the HR and EAP and all that type stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
don't come to work to be mistreated.
You don't.
But I tell people all the time, don't get it misconstrued. Direct does not mean mistreatment. There's a difference. Me being direct and telling you, hey, this is what we need from you today, and we got to get this done before your lunch. That's direct. There's no sugarcoating. I need this before lunch.
Mm-hmm.
If you get in your emotions and talk about you feel like you've been mistreated, nah, that's not mistreatment. No, you have a duty that you have to get done by a certain time. And we all have things that got to be done by a certain time. We got duties, we got tests, and all of that. And everything is on a schedule. So
Yes, sir.
then just when you get yourself in a situation, people get in their emotion and they feel a little bit personal. You know what I'm saying? So let me I'd like to answer. You got anything else you want to ask?
That was it. That was it. We
Okay.
done went on a long tangent. You done answered it for me.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I always like to ask my guests to leave the audience with a perspective, a point of view, a motto, or something that they can remember you by.
Perspective or motto or anything to remember me by. I would
Whether it's
say,
something that you move your life with, that you can go by with something you already spoke about.
okay, then my thing is trust the process.
That's about the third or fourth time somebody said that on this show. And
Trust the process.
each time it was two, you the third one, had to do with weightlifting. One was a health and wellness coach. And now you trust the process.
And that's why I said
That's
that's funny
right.
that they was in that round because it correlates to life. Trusting the process correlates to life. And I feel like sometimes your faith is being always tested just to see if you can handle certain things.
Absolutely.
So trust the process and then be able to ground yourself back to, okay, I know this is that, but I'm not dead. I'm not hurt. I'm all right. It's gonna be another day if God allows it.
Absolutely. All right. Y'all heard that. Brother Carlos said, trust the process. Brother Carlos, I thank you for coming on. I appreciate you sharing your wealth of information, your tips, your techniques that you're doing to stay healthy. I wish you the best on your journey to get that doctorate in physical therapy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right. I wish you the best on that. And go mob all day long.
All
All
right,
right.
Mom.
To my audience, I will thank you all for joining. I want to thank you all for being here with us on today. And most importantly, always remember, small victories lead to greater success. I'm Dr. Woods, and you have just been hit by the raw approach. Peace.